boom, I'm just gonna open it like that. So there we go, I just logged in, little rack you can see. Anyways, here's what everything means. So IBAN is an international banking account number. So banks used to use those to identify credit card information and stuff like that, but it's no longer like the conventional thing to use nowadays, because EMVs have, y'all know what EMVs are, but those have like kind of outdone them, and they're now kind of like the common thing that when you put your card in, like to identify who you are basically. So IBANs are back in the day, that's how it is. And IBANs are actually public information, but what we're after are keyed IBANs. Those are more difficult to get, and just until recently you can actually get them now a lot easier. I mean, that's what vendors are doing, they're getting them and they're getting them a lot cheaper. So when you see IBAN, it actually means keyed IBAN in this. But I also want to talk about what is reaping. Like, what is reaping? So reaping is like when you take this information, the IBAN information, instead of using a card like, you know how swiping would, is kind of like loading the info onto your phone and using it to you know, withdraw instead of like a conventional card would. So basically just withdrawing using your phone and you like doing all that through your phone. A couple recommendations: after a couple uses, I highly recommend to get a burner phone. I think a couple, you know, 1, 2, or 3 uses is okay, but in my experience, I highly recommend getting a burner phone after that, because it will just, you know, make chances of anything happening a lot less. I mean, they're already pretty low in my experience, but I think it's important to just, you know, stay safe. So here we are, we're starting out with the software, starting out strong. I got my information here. My banner got this to me a while ago. So this is gonna be the IBAN right here, what you're looking for. Boom. So this is called an IBAN log. This number right here, if your log comes with this, you don't need to worry about that. That's just some hexadecimal stuff. I don't think you can code that, but you don't need to worry about that. It's the country. You don't need to worry about this either, and this either. You don't need to worry about this. It's just these numbers, 1, 2, and 3. So this, we're gonna start out here. We got the IBAN and the 9FYS key. So it's actually in here. So you're gonna go up 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then take 8. So 1, 2, 8 of them, just like that. Paste that in here, and then take the KE after your. So this number is the bit config right here. So you just put that, boom, just like that, and you can see you can't actually add a number. It's just 10 digits. So now I'm gonna add my effective date of 25/2006, and the country I'm using the IBAN in, so that would be United States. Next we have the ICC and the NFC. You're gonna click ICC and NFC, both of these. Boom. See, it should take out, you know, doing it right. If it takes out QLS, you don't even worry about this for what we're doing. Don't worry about QLS or these two. You don't need to worry about Odo or SI. You don't need to worry about those stuff. So next up, we got a Byte application profile, and this is what's gonna help send it into your phone a little bit and into the ATM. No, my fault. Not. This is the phone. This is the ATM. So you're always gonna want it. What we're doing, always gonna want to be saying bit 5, and then this is the number you used earlier. Put that in there. You press set. You should see bit 5, and then your config and your bit config right there. Boom. Next up is the terminal data. So for the terminal data, you're gonna need, this is how you like connect your phone. So I'm just plug my phone in. And so if you try to, there you go, Apple iPhone, try to run it, it'll say no TDA. The TDA is terminal data. So you got no TDA. So I just plug my phone in. I'm gonna go to my phone's ICC ID right now. So there we go. I just put my ICC ID for my phone. If you don't know what that is, just search it up. It's pretty easy to access. It's in your phone's general settings. This will kind of link the phone and the software. So basically, got my phone plugged in. Press run. I'm gonna go into all the errors. If I don't get an error here, I don't think I'm about to. But I'm gonna go into all the errors as well. Okay, success, iPhone 50 connected. That's like usually says that, you know, you'll be straight. Compiling is okay. Then we're straight. So compiling is usually where you get the most errors from. So if you get after that, then you should be straight. Okay, read success. That's the message we want to be looking for. So that means your phone has the loaded information. everything is set. So what it does is it creates a mobile config on your phone. If you don't know what that is, search that up too. A mobile config is like a kind of app, but it's not really an app. I'm not sure, but it adds a mobile config and it loads this information. So when you use the NFC, that's what it's gonna say. Yeah, you don't need to worry about this part, by the way, for terminal data. Don't worry about that. Anyways, my phone is all loaded now. That's pretty much it for the software side of it. Now for the in-person, there's a lot more stuff you have to do as well as with your phone, so you're not really done yet, but this is kind of the hard part. In contrast to like swiping or something, like a method like that, I feel like this is a lot more easier and definitely a lot more streamlined. I don't, as a customer, like as a user, I really don't like how like it's configured, because it looks like it's almost too user friendly that it's like sometimes it gives a lot of errors that could be fixed if it just had a little bit more better like coding and stuff like that. But usually the errors are from users, so if you got a messed up IBAN, and but the majority of errors, this is big, bro, I want y'all to listen. The majority of errors come from faulty IBANs, bro. And this is because vendors are really taking this opportunity to jug. Make sure your vendors are straight. Make sure everything is good, because some of these youngins really just do not care and give you whatever the fuck, bro. Just the same way they were doing it for CCs, they're doing it for this now. So y'all gotta really be on the lookout for the right youngins that be selling this straight shit. Going back to what I said earlier about paying for the software, $50 is a lot, so you can actually get a token. I have cracked tokens, so if you DM me, I'll get you a cracked token. Also, I want to talk about VPN usage and proxies. You do not need to use a VPN for this software or proxies, although I do recommend a proxy just in case, because if you have a proxy, like a residential proxy, HTML5, doesn't matter, socks, whatever, and you've done it a couple times where you come to the crib and your phone is already loaded with info, you plug it in, your phone sends the info back to the PC, and that might be a problem in the future, is what I'm saying. So after a couple uses, definitely use a proxy if you don't have like a burner phone, is what I'm saying. But definitely get a burner phone too, that's important too. One more thing is the type of IBAN. So these key IBANs are pretty common, like they're, you know, whatever, usually they're all the same type, but there are 3 types that are special. So AKR IBANs, UCK, and BSM. If you ever come across those and they have those 3 letters in them, you know, those type of 3 letters in them, just know you have a extremely expensive IBAN log on your record, bro. So just make sure you get your money's worth if you sell it or use it, because those always have more, like, you know, to do, because they are a banking number, an international banking number, not just a country number. So those can be worth a lot more. The application profiles, one more thing about jugs, is vendors usually give real IBANs but fake bit configs, because you can get an IBAN like for free anywhere, but what makes it, you know, what we need is the keyed IBANs, and which is this part. So sometimes they give fake configs, and to kind of like make sure that's straight, just make sure you got everything locked in.